Hi, this is Jay from AminoZ. We're going to go through a tutorial today on how to make your own protein powder using our custom blending tool. So the focus is going to be on protein powder blends. Protein powder will be the primary ingredient in here. We'll go through the different options available, and then we'll talk about some other ingredients that you may want to add into your blend depending upon your particular goals. So I've just loaded up the custom blending tool. I'll name my protein, I'll just put it down as a protein powder, and I'll choose my flavor. So I might want to make mine a standard chocolate plus sucralose. So your sucralose is your artificial sweetener, stevia is your natural sweetener. Most protein powders have sucralose, but if you do want an all natural product, go for the stevia option instead, both of which taste very good. So if you go down into the ingredients section, this is where we're going to be adding in our products. And as I mentioned, we are focusing on a protein powder today. So let's start off with the protein powder ingredients. I just wanted to talk you through each protein powder option, the benefits of using each ingredient, because depending upon your particular needs, you may require a different protein powder. So let's start off with the whey proteins. These are the most common products that we sell in other products and also with our custom blending tool. There's whey protein concentrate and also whey protein isolate. These are both milk derived, and they are the highest quality products or highest quality ingredients that you will get for building muscle for post-workout recovery. They have the highest biological value, so your body can utilize these proteins more effectively than the other options that are available. And both whey protein concentrate and whey protein isolate are ideally used around the time of your workout. They can be used, of course, during the day as well, but they are quite fast to absorb, so very effective for recovery. Now, you've got your concentrate and isolate. Main difference is concentrate is a cheaper ingredient. There isn't as much protein per 100 grams or per serve in whey protein concentrate versus whey protein isolate. Whey protein isolate is a higher quality ingredient. It is absorbed into the body faster. There's a high percentage of protein in there too. Whey protein concentrate, I generally use that if you did want to keep costs down. Whey protein isolate, I would definitely go for that if cost was not an option or you were looking to pay a little bit more. The cost difference isn't all that much. You're only talking about an extra 20%. So I'll show you here. Let's say we were going for whey protein isolate. Whey protein isolate, you can see in the nutritional panel, will have per 100 grams, once we've added in the flavor, about 80% protein. Now, if I actually take that flavor away, because that will actually contribute to the overall ingredients, you'll see pure whey protein isolate is 88.3 grams. Because there is also some sunflower lecithin in there, and that's added in to help mixability. If you compare that to concentrate, so I'll take the isolate out, and I'll make this a pure whey protein concentrate product without any flavoring. You'll see here that it's 76%. This one also has some lecithin in there, so that also helps with the mixing. So that's 76% versus almost 90% protein. You can see there's quite a difference there. So they're the whey proteins. Casein protein is the other dairy-derived protein. So casein protein is a very slow-release protein. It's ideally used in the nighttime, so a lot of bodybuilders will take that before they go to bed just to avoid muscle breakdown as you are sleeping. The other benefit of casein is it's quite filling. Because it's so slow to absorb and it's a very thick protein consistency, if you have it during the day, it will tend to keep you fuller for longer. So casein protein can be very effective for weight loss to help curb hunger cravings. It's another really good use of the casein. Moving on to other protein powders, we've got non-dairy ones here. So there's the egg albumin. Now, this can often be used in cooking when you need the egg white powder. That's what this egg albumin is. It's also a very high quality protein. It's not quite as good as your whey proteins, especially around your workout, but egg protein can be quite good during the day. It isn't absorbed super fast. It's probably a moderately absorbed rate, but very good quality protein too. Egg protein and milk proteins are both very high biological value proteins. Then we move on to the vegetarian options, and we've got here soy protein, rice protein, and pea protein. Now, these ones are generally if you want to stay away from milk or egg-based proteins. The quality of them isn't quite as good as the other ones, especially for muscle gain. But if you've got specific dietary requirements, if you are vegetarian or vegan, or have allergies where you're trying to stay away from milk or lactose in particular, then these options are often quite good to look at. Your soy protein isolate it can be a fairly good vegetarian source of protein. A lot of people do like to stay away from excess amounts of soy. So you do need to consider that from a health point of view. Soy protein isolate is a full protein, so it's got all the amino acids, and so it's quite a good option. Soy proteins were very popular around about 5 or 10 years ago, but more recently, pea protein isolate has become very popular. Pea protein isolate is also a good quality protein, still not as good as your whey proteins or your egg protein, but it can be very good, especially for vegans and vegetarians. Pea protein consistency, it can be a little grainy, not grainy in the sense that things get stuck in your mouth, grainy like salt or something, but more it's quite thick, and it's a bit of an odd texture. Finding it a bit hard to describe actually. So it's thickish. Pea protein isolate isn't the best tasting, but once you add some flavour in, I wouldn't have it unflavoured because it's not great. If you add the flavour in, it's quite palatable. And then rice protein isolate, not the greatest source of protein. The quality of the protein isn't fantastic, but it's very good if you're looking for an anti-allergenic protein, like it's rice allergens, or being allergic to rice is fairly not very common. So if you cannot take any other proteins, then rice can be quite a good option. So generally pea or the rice ones are good if you're trying to stay away from allergens there. So they're all your options. So if you're looking to design something pre or post workout, as I mentioned, I'd generally be going for a whey protein concentrate or a whey protein isolate. If you wanted the best of the best, then go straight for a whey protein isolate, and generally a standard serving size is about 30 grams worth. So you go 30 grams per serve, and then if you did add in the flavouring as well, you just select your flavour. So I'll go back to the chocolate plus sucralose, and then that would be a fairly stock standard whey protein isolate. You'll get a kilo, and you can see here per serve you're getting about 26 grams of protein, which is fairly standard. If you did want to go for a blend, which is also very popular, a lot of top selling products are about 50-50. They're about half-half. So it's half isolate and half concentrate. You'll see that, so generally I recommend about 15 grams of each. You'll see that the price will come down because concentrate is cheaper, but you're still getting that high quality protein isolate, but you're also getting the whey protein concentrate, which will bring that price down. Again, very good pre and post workout, fine to have during the day. If you did want to be on a bit of a budget, then you would just change this over to a full serve of whey protein concentrate. So about 30 grams of serve, and you can see the price further comes down even more. But you'll see there the amount of protein per serve will come down. So in the nutritional panel here, you've got 22.8 grams per serve. You might actually want to bump that up per serving if you were aiming to get about anywhere from 26 to 28 grams per serve. So you'd be looking at around about 35, 36 grams of whey protein isolate. So that'll be your typical pre or post workout shake. If you did want a casein protein for the night time, again, you'd be looking at around about a 30 gram serve. With the 30 gram serve, you'll get about 24.5 grams of protein in there. Again, keeping in mind this is including flavouring. Casein protein by itself, probably it's not great tasting, so you definitely would want some flavouring in there. Probably the most palatable protein that if it doesn't have any flavouring would be the whey protein isolate. It's actually quite pleasant. It's got a slight milky flavour without flavouring in it. Okay, that's your casein. Now, if you did want something during the day, and let's say you just wanted a bit of a blend, there's a lot of blended products out on the market that you just take as part of a meal replacement. So you'd want some high quality whey protein isolate, and I'd say add in about 10 grams of that. You might want some whey protein concentrate because it's still a relatively high quality product. So maybe add in about 7 grams of that one. We want some casein, which is some slow absorbing stuff just to keep us full and make sure that we've got some amino acids or a positive nitrogen balance. And maybe get some egg protein in there too, because that's also a very high quality protein. Now, if I'm looking to have a meal and I wanted about a bit of a protein hit during the day and wanted, say, 26 or so grams, that would be a good blend. And you can see there per serve, we're getting 26 grams of protein. I can always modify that a little bit more. So if I wanted to have less protein, if that's too much for me, maybe drop the egg protein down and drop a little bit of whey protein down. And you'll see there, I've now got about 18.7 grams of protein per serve, but I've got a good blend that I can then use out throughout the day. And that'll be quite nice to drink, maybe as part of a meal replacement. Total calories there is 87.9 grams, and that's a reasonable size. It's probably on the smaller size for a meal, so I might want to add in some other products. So they're the basics of the protein powder options. I've currently got there a meal replacement throughout the day. So let's go through some other options, some other ingredient options, and why I might want to add them in. So if I started off and I go into the oil and the fatty acid powders, I've currently got a blend here, but I might want to add in some healthy fats through the day. Let's say, for example, I'm looking to lose some weight. I might want to add in some conjugated linoleic acid, CLA. I might want to add in there 3 grams or 3,000 milligrams of that per serving. If I added in some, so CLA is generally associated with weight loss, and you can find out more information about these ingredients just by clicking on this question mark button. You can see here with MCTs. MCTs may help with weight loss and inflammation and general health and cardiovascular fitness. So this also might be a good one that I might want to add in during the day, in which case I might add 3 grams in there. So you'll see here, if I'm trying to make, say, for example, a meal replacement shake, I've got now a range of different proteins that I've added in. So I'm getting just under 19 grams of protein per serve. In total, I'm getting 4.6 grams of fat out of those CLAs and the MCTs that I added in. There'll be a little bit of fat from the protein, but not that much. And then if I wanted to add in some carbohydrate as well, I could always add in something like here. I'd probably go for some maltodextrin rather than dextrose, and just add in some carbohydrate during the day. I probably wouldn't do that if you're looking to lose weight, but if you're looking more for a gainer product, then and you're looking to gain weight, then carbohydrates are going to be a very good friend for you. So you'd be adding in some maltodextrin there too. Now let's change this up a little bit. Let's say, for example, I wanted to make a post-workout shake. I wouldn't want any fats in my post-workout shake. What I would want, though, would be all good quality proteins. So I'm going to bump the protein right up. I'll get 30 grams of whey protein isolate, and I will get rid of everything else there. I'm just going to have whey protein isolate as my main protein source. And post-workout, I want a really fast absorbing carbohydrate, so I'm going to add in some dextrose monohydrate. For that, I'm going to add in 30 grams of dextrose. I'll take out the maltodextrin from there. So this one, dextrose is a sugar. It is going to help stimulate insulin secretion by your body, which helps in the uptake of amino acids. Now, this is really important post-workout. It's going to help with recovery, with building muscle, with just replenishing your glycogen stores as well. So as a post-workout shake, this could be a good blend just by having 30 grams of WPI, 30 grams of dextrose monohydrate. Now, if it's a dedicated post-workout shake, I might also want to add in some amino acids. Some branched chain amino acids, your leucine, isoleucine, and valine are very important to recovery. Now, you will get these in your whey protein isolate, but you can add in some additional branched chains. So I might add in some extra leucine, some extra isoleucine, and some extra valine post-workout. They will absorb super quick into your body, very important for muscle gain. And you can see there's going to be quite a good post-workout shake where I've got the protein from whey protein isolate, got my BCAAs, and I've got my dextrose as well. You'll see per serve I've got 30 grams of protein. That will include those branched chain amino acids that I added in. You'll see the sugar that I've added in there from the dextrose, and that total post-workout shake is about 240 calories. Of course, depending upon your body weight and your goals, you can tweak that accordingly. Now, I'll just run through a few other ingredients that you may want to consider adding into a protein shake. Acetyl-L-carnitine can be very effective for weight loss. So if you're looking to lose weight, you might want to add in, say, about 2,000 milligrams of that. Creatine monohydrate. Creatine is very important, or it can be very effective if you're looking to gain muscle mass. So if you're having a post-workout shake and you're adding in plenty of carbohydrates, creatine might be a good one too. You'll also, if you're adding in a protein gainer shake, then you might want to add in creatine, and probably close to 5,000 milligrams per serve of that. Next one here. You can add in other amino acids, but look, unless you might want to add in glutamine actually. Glutamine can be very good for recovery, but the other amino acids, unless you've got specific requirements for them, generally you won't be adding them in. It will usually just be your glutamine and your BCAAs. The others can have benefits, but I would stick with them, especially if you're just starting out with this tool. Stimulants. Generally speaking, you won't use stims in a protein powder. They would be more reserved for a pre-workout. You can always make a morning protein powder. So for example, if you didn't want to have a coffee and you instead wanted to have a protein powder with a little bit of a kick, you could always add in some caffeine there and flavor it accordingly, like a chocolate. Next one, nitric oxide. You would generally reserve these for pre-workout, so I generally wouldn't say to go with a nitric oxide. Carbohydrates, we've already covered those, so maltodextrin could be a good use in a gainer, or if you wanted to gain weight and having that throughout the day. You can have both maltodextrin and dextrose post-workout as well. Then with your oil and fatty acid powders, I would generally be reserving that if you're using a protein powder throughout the day. Don't use these excessively pre or post workout. Fats are very hard to absorb. They will slow down absorption rates. So you don't want to be having those fats interfere with your protein powder. Next, in the health and well-being section, if you did want to create like a breakfast protein shake, these products can be quite effective, or even if you're using something throughout the day. So for example, your acai, your coconut water, flaxseed powder, which is a good source of healthy fats and also some carbohydrates. Your maca, matcha green tea, spirulina and wheatgrass powder, all really good for meal replacement products. So you can add them in according to your needs. Joint health and joint powder. So if you're creating a protein shake that you're just having, say in the morning, in the evening, or having as part of a protein, a meal replacement or a health shake, then you can add in some of these joint products like glucosamine sulfate or MSM, which can help improve cartilage and also joint health. And then electrolytes. If you are deficient in magnesium or calcium, then you can add that into your shake accordingly. Again, generally more as a meal replacement, but there's no problem or no harm in adding these ones in pre or post workout. I do hope that this quick tutorial on protein powders has been helpful. If you've got any questions, feel free to contact us. We'll be more than happy to help. And keep in mind that if you ever have a query or want to know more about a particular ingredient, just click on that question mark here and it will tell you a little bit more about that ingredient.